focus today is going to be on understanding the principle of self-manifestation. Write that down. If I was to be asked what is my greatest advice to give you as a young man or young woman, it would be this message. People are not looking for you. They are looking for what you are carrying. And if you don't manifest what you are carrying, the world will ignore you. Because you exist doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Because you are on the planet doesn't mean that people are going to notice you. You can live an entire life and not be noticed by humanity. We can bury you in a cemetery and we would never know you were here except for that tombstone. And the reason is because most of the humans on earth live on earth but never manifest themselves. And so the most important goal in your life should be self-manifestation.
Now this is how you know you're not living in your gift. If when the alarm clock goes off in the morning and you ain't happy about it, you ain't doing what you want to do. See, you fighting upstream, you going against what God created you for. If your job makes you sick to go to, if you're unhappy with waking up to go to where you gotta go, it's because you ain't living in your gift. Some people are born to be teachers, caregivers, nurses, babysitters. Those are gifts. If you're living in your gift, you're cool. It's just if you ain't. If you fry chicken better than everybody else, you should be somewhere frying chicken, man. If you do hair better than everybody else, you should be somewhere doing somebody's hair. Those are gifts. Telling jokes was a gift. They're just not just running, jumping. If you paint, you should be painting. If babysitting is what you really do, you should be babysitting. You doing anything. If you fix cars, you work with your hands. You're supposed to be working with your hands. You do anything else, when that alarm clock go off in the morning, you ain't gonna like it. Now, if you waking up, you going down there, they ain't paying you what you want, you hate your coworkers, you down there, your boss has no business being your boss. I just never thought that anybody should be in charge of me. I always saw myself free. I just want to come to work. This is all I want to do. Bishop Jake said this, that I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. You should look into that before you mess around and check out of here.
Write this down, please. Discontent is the seed of change. In other words, you will never change what you tolerate. How many times have you said, I need to change this, but you keep doing it?
Inspiring habit.
It's because you tolerate it. Whatever you tolerate will never change. So how do you break a toleration? Here's my advice. Write this down. You will never become what you could be until you become angry with what you are. Anger brings change. Your life is defined by what you hate. Can you write that down right now? Whatever you don't hate, you allow. And whatever you allow, you will never change. People say that God is love. And sometimes we use that to accommodate evil. But the Bible says God also hates things. The great King David wrote 7 things God hates. Solomon wrote 14 of them. What kind of habits do you have? What is your secret habit? What is your public habit? You're designing your future with that habit. We don't decide our future, we decide our habits. And our habits decide our future. If you have a habit of watching television, your future is designed in that habit. So the power of a habit can control your destiny. So you got to decide your habits. I have a habit, for example, of reading the Bible every day. It's not some spiritual giant. I made it a habit. So if I don't read the Bible, I feel like I'm going through withdrawals. What a good habit to have. Prayer should be a habit. For most people, prayer is an occasional surprise, or when things are falling apart only.
Your gift will make room for you. Now, what is your gift? It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. Quit running away from the gift. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. Nobody asked you to go down here and study to be a dentist, and you ain't really good at that. Listen to me. All of you have this gift. Identify it. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's what you should be doing. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion. The Bible does not mention passion. It mentions your gift. What are you gifted at, and do that. Stop tripping. You can do that. If you fry chicken better than everybody you know, you ought to be somewhere frying chicken. People make millions of dollars frying chicken. Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, El Pollo Loco. All they doing is making chicken. Somebody just started making chicken. You know the story of Marie Callender's? Do you know what this woman did, man? She worked for a diner, a greasy spoon diner that was going out of business. It was her only job. She was a single mother. It was her only job. She needed that job, but the diner was gonna close. So she went to the owner of the diner and said, let me bake one of my pies. People like my pies, and see if I can help you make a little money. He said, whatever, bring it in. She bought one pie in. They sold every slice. The next day, the people came in and asked for the pie. She had to go home and make another pie. The next day, so many people asked for the pie, she had to make 4 pies. Then people started saying, can I buy my own pie? She made so many pies at this store that she eventually saved her money and put a commercial oven in her house. She done made so many pies, the dude's shop, he ain't selling hamburgers no more. All he's selling is them pies. That's how Marie Callender got started. Marie Callender now has over 120 restaurants. You can't go to no frozen food section without seeing Marie Callender in there. You know what she started with? A pie. One pie.
What you become after today depends on what you do with this message. All of you in this room, I have good news for you. You came to this earth because there's something the earth needed that God hid inside of you. Everything in creation was created with a gift. Everything. God created nothing without a gift in it. It took me 30 years to make that one statement. Research, experience, my own life, studying creation itself. You were brought to this planet, sent here by a greater power to deliver something that we need. God created everything with gifts. In other words, you are a package sent to earth to deliver a gift to your generation. You are obligated to us. You owe me what you are carrying. Whatever you were created to become, you possess now. This is a divine principle. What do you think your gift is? What did I say? Whatever you were created to become, you possess it now. In other words, whatever you were born to do is not ahead of you. It's within you. Because whatever you were destined to become, God has prepared you with it. The Creator never places the future outside of a thing. Your future is not ahead of you. It's actually trapped on the inside. In other words, write this down. You came to planet Earth with your future inside of you. I say it this way: God hid your future in a place where He knew you couldn't miss it. A gift is the inherent capacity to fulfill a function that meets a need in creation. Every word is important here. Inherent means no one can give this to you. You came with this. No prophecy can give you a gift. A prophecy may stir it up. This session is probably one of the most important sessions in your life because you are still stuck looking for a job. You know what's good about gifts? You don't have to look for them.
The dude that cut my hair, I met him in 1986. He cut my hair for $10. I remembered him. When I got on TV, I had hired him. He came out there, he started making $300 a haircut. I paid him $10. He had been with me so many years that he was making $1,500 per haircut. I was getting my hair cut 4 times a week for television and touring. I paid him $1,500 each time. He was making $6,000 a week. You know what he was doing? Cutting hair. That same haircut I paid $10 for in '87. This dude was cutting it now for me for $1,500. I cut my hair off, but then let me tell you what he did. I paid him a chunk of money for being with me all these years. Gave him a severance pay. Told him good luck. Guess what this dude got now? He got 4 salons and he owned 2 barber colleges. You know what this dude make now? $3.6 million a year. You know what he do? He cut hair. He don't do nothing else. That's his gift. Friend of mine we grew up with. All he did was cut grass. He had a single blade lawnmower that he pushed. He was so good at it, he could raise the blades up and lower them. He could cut patterns in your grass. We little, I'm going, hey man, we going swimming. Now I got to cut Miss Jackson grass. He could cut patterns in your yard. He could put your initials in your grass as a little boy. $2 for the front, $2 for the back. $4. We used to laugh at him all the time. Well, let me tell you what we laughing at now. He got a landscaping company in Cleveland. You know how much this boy making? $4 million a year. You know what he do? He cut grass. He got 38 trucks. He got all the contracts.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. You're welcome to today's daily outlook with Great White. If you can hear me clearly, please can you type in yes? If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please can you type in yes? Okay. Okay, so as always, before we start, I would advise you to go through this disclaimer. You become aware of it, and this is my Telegram handle, and this is my Twitter handle. This Twitter handle is very important because sometimes from this Twitter handle, you could gain access to my YouTube channel where you could watch the videos, and also you gain access to my Instagram channel from the YouTube from post. That's on the Twitter handle. So it's very important. And on the Instagram channel, on the Instagram page, you get the link to my channel on Telegram. So those are things you need to be aware of. So, and also on Instagram, I post my chart and the analysis there. So it's completely there on the Instagram page and sometimes on Facebook. So this is my Telegram handle, this is my Twitter handle. So that aside, let's see what the charts have for us today. So looking at the chart, let's start off with let's start with forex factory so that we get an idea of what high impact news we might be expecting tomorrow. What high impact news we might be expecting tomorrow. So let's see. So tomorrow being the 5th of September, we have our 1:15 p.m. We have US ADP non-farm payroll change. Then by 4 p.m. we have crude oil inventories. Then 5 p.m. Swiss National Bank chairman speaks. Then Friday we have unemployment rate for the CAD and the US economy. So that is it for tomorrow. So let's get down to our charts to get an idea of what we're looking at. Always we start with the dollar index. So looking at the dollar index, we can clearly see that the dollar index is posted a reversal pattern. It started from yesterday. So now we have almost a complete evening start. If we look at our intraday, what does that mean? That means dollar weakness. That means there's a possibility we might see dollar weakness tomorrow. So when we look at our intraday chart, this is the major line. Like I said, if the dollar closes below this 98.93, it's going to go down further. As you can see, price has dropped further. Now the next question is, will it hold below this level? A close below this level, like here, will point to further weakness. That means we might even see the dollar weakness coming all the way up to this point, somewhere here, coming all the way to this point, or might even go lower, as the case may be. But for now, we have dollar weakness. So next pair we'll go to is the gold. Looking at gold, gold is still clearly bullish for now, still holding above its 13, which means that it might be heading towards this area. So we go to our gold chart. Go to our gold chart, we can see, just like I said yesterday, this area was mid-term resistance here. So what price did was a break, a retest, and a move up. So now the deal is that you might see a bit of a pullback, but most definitely gold might be moving back up as long as it doesn't go below here. As long as it doesn't go below here, it has the potential to still move high. So the next pair I'm looking at is USD Looking at USD this is also bearish. And see, this was the evening star formation from yesterday and dropped heavy today. So it's still holding above this 98.05. You see, it didn't close below it. So there exists the potential that you may see something like based on this pair. It may pull back. Excuse me. Sorry. You may see something like this. Price may just pull back a bit. I'm having a bit of some issues here. Okay. Price might just do something like this, pull up into this area. As long as it doesn't go above here, it might come back down. But should price close above here, then you might see something like this. That's what we need to be aware of on the USD CHF. So the next one we'll be looking at is the Euro USD. Looking at the Euro USD, this clearly is the morning star formation. This is a bullish formation. Looking at this is a bullish formation. So the deal with this pair is this. You can see it has closed above here. Now it has to stay above here to continue the up move. But sometimes it may just take us straight. Sometimes it may pull back. So in this case, you have two scenarios. It may run into this area and drop a bit, or it may from here break above something like this and pick up. Or it may just drop a bit and move up. But from the daily, you're looking at the bullish move. There's just no two ways about it. You're looking at the bullish move. So most likely, we're looking at a bullish Euro USD. So at this level, and that comes in at 1.1022. 1022. So if we come in here, 1.1022, which means that price, sorry, 1022 comes in somewhere. Yeah. Let me go to the daily so I can draw it clearly. And it's not a daily, it's a weekly level. And that area is from a weekly level and it is here. So So we're looking at, there exists the potential that you might see a bit of a pullback. As long as it doesn't go down too far below here, then there's a potential that you might see price. For now, Euro USD has a bullish bias. Given the formation we're looking at today, it has a bullish bias. So the next pair we're looking at is the Euro GBP. In at the Euro GBP failed at this level, so now it's coming down. So for this Euro GBP, let's look at it on the daily. You can see this is a bearish close, and it has taken out this low. So you might see a possibility that something like this may happen tomorrow, and then a continuation. Or you might see a little bit higher and then a drop. But if price stays above this 0.92, then there's a possibility it might continue back up. So those are some of the things you need to be aware on this pair. These are some things that might happen on this pair tomorrow. But sometimes this Euro GBP, it doesn't always move straight. Sometimes it can just twist and move in any direction it wants to. So the other pair we'll be looking at is GBP USD. So looking at the GBP USD is very, very bullish for now. Very, very bullish. As you can see, it's a very, very big bullish engulf on the daily. So if you go to your intraday chart, there exists a potential that you might see a bit of a pullback and a continuation. As long as price does not go below here, it might continue on. But should price go below here, wait for a retest, then it is coming back down. Thus, price must not go back below 1.21. Price must not go back below that level. So the other pair we're looking at is the GBP CHF. Looking at the GBP CHF, you see it's also having a bullish formation on the daily. If we look at it, this seems to be its level here now. If you look at this area, it has been a sort of resistance to price. So now, price can break through this area, something like this, and move higher. But if price fails to break above here, then there's a potential price may come back down. Just like I said yesterday that this is the midpoint and price pulled above, this is the retest and this is the move up. So now once they take out this resistance zone and they've tested it severally, which means that there's a potential to like break any moment. So the moment they break it, then you might see price moving higher. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USD JPY. Well, the USD JPY is still looking bullish, as you can see. This is a bullish engulfing candle. So which points to the fact that we might see further rally on this pair. So looking at it, and that will only be confirmed. That will only be confirmed if you see something like this. Price needs to run up. If it runs into resistance, something like this is what you need to see in price for it to confirm that it has to take out this trend line, maybe go up straight or whichever method it chooses. So you might see a straight up move like this. These are two possible scenarios on this pair. But looking at it from the daily, you're looking at a bullish formation. But it still has this resistance as 106.76 to take out. So the next pair we're looking at is the Euro Yen. The Euro Yen closed bullish, just like I had anticipated. It's a bullish engulfing pattern, signaling further move up. So for this pair, you can see now it's at this trend line. So there's a possibility that price may come down to test this triple 11, 17, 14, this level here. If this level holds as support, just like I said, whenever price breaks a major level, always wait for it to do a retest. As you can see, when it came back for the retest, it was not supposed to go back into the level. But as it moved back into the level, it shows that this is a false break, this is a trap move. So what might most likely happen is a little bit of drop and then a move higher on this pair. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro G Pound Yen. The Pound Yen pairs were great gainers today. As you can see, it's a very, very strong bullish move. A very, very strong bullish move. Okay. When we look at this pair, most likely we might see a bit of a pullback and a continuation. We might see a bit of a pullback and a continuation. That's just what might most likely happen, but it is clearly bullish for now. Pretty bullish. You can see if you switch to your line chart, it's almost looking like double bottom formation. Double bottom formation. So the next one we're looking at is AUD USD. AUD USD is also bullish. You can see it's about to move. This is bullish move will be confirmed with a close above 68.22. The close above 68.22 will confirm the bullish move on the AUD. So you can see where it is now. So there's a possibility it may drop a bit, move into here, then something like this right here. As you can see, this area where it is has played resistance. So it might have a little bit of a problem if it runs in here. So you might see something like this there to move up. The next one I'm looking at is Euro AUD. Looking at the Euro AUD, well, it's still holding this level, as you can see. It's still holding this level. So, and this is a daily close, long with points to the possibility of a correction up. So, what does that mean? It means, sorry, it means you might see something like this on this pair in a trend. But if it holds above this level, it's going to go back up. That's the situation on that pair. So the next one we're looking at is GBP AUD. This is still bullish. You can see it's a bullish engulfing formation. Look at the next chart. So on the intraday, so now you might see a bit of a pullback and a move high. That's just it. But if it closes back below this level, then you see something like this. So that's what might most likely happen on this pair. So the next one we're looking at is the USD card. This USD card is a bit dicey. A bit dicey because where it's coming into, it's where it has always found support before. But this big bearish engulfing candle, so you can see that's where price is now. Every other item has been disregarded. You can continue the up move. So you can see. So most likely on this pair, you might see a bit of a pullback. If it gives you a bearish reaction, then it is coming back now. So that is it for today's Forex outlook for the 5th of September 2019. I want to thank you all for coming and also to inform you all that the registration for the second masterclass is ongoing. If you have anybody that you feel that can benefit from it, you could let the person reach out to me. It's trying to load up. The person could reach out to me on my either my Telegram handle. Okay, it's up. This is the advert. It's a 6-week intensive training course for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And these are some of the things you might be learning from there. This is my Facebook and Twitter handle. Then this is my Telegram handle. So if you have, and this is my phone number. So if you have anybody that is interested or you feel that might be interested or benefit from the training, the person can reach out to me. So once again, I thank you all for coming. I wish you all a beautiful night's sleep and a beautiful trading day ahead. The charts that you still have are still active. So you can get the charts from either my Instagram page or Facebook page. So that's where you can get the charts from. So I thank you all for coming and wish you all a beautiful night's sleep in advance. Thank you.